previous class we have seen about the components of blood. Components of blood, that is RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Now today we'll see what are the functions of blood. Now functions of blood is that they help to transport nutrients, waste materials and oxygen to various parts of the body and again to the heart. This is the function. They also helps to prevent blood clot. They also prevent from various kinds of diseases. So these are the functions of blood. Now next we will deal with blood and blood transfusion. Now we will see what are the blood groups and what is blood transfusion. In many of the cases, suppose a surgery or operation is going on, or suppose you are injured heavily, means heavy blood loss is there from your body. Okay, or some person is suffering from thalassemia, which is also known as blood cancer. In that kind of person, blood needs to be replaced monthly or as suggested by the doctor. So how these blood are replaced, these lost bloods are replaced. So these lost bloods are replaced through blood transfusion. So what is blood transfusion? Blood transfusion is that the lost blood is replaced. The lost blood from the body is replaced through blood transfusion. So in any kind of blood loss, the person may lost a huge amount of blood. So in that case, blood transfusion is done. Now what is blood transfusion? Blood transfusion is injecting of blood in the body of the patient. Means whoever is the patient, whoever is going through a surgery, whoever is having a wound. So this is blood transfusion, means injecting of blood in the body of the patient or the other body who needs the or the other person who needs the blood. So that is blood transfusion. Now if blood transfusion is occurring, means if blood is being transferred to a person from the other person, then that should also match. Means if a donor means the one who is giving, okay. So from the donor to the acceptor means the one who is receiving the blood. So when the blood transfusion is occurring, then the donor who is giving the match and the acceptor who is receiving the blood, they both should match. The blood should match. Blood should match. So if the blood does not match, it may lead to various kinds of diseases, or it may also lead to death. So the blood should match from the donor to the acceptor. So this is the blood. Now what about blood groups? In our system, ABO type of blood group works. ABO system of blood group works. ABO system of blood group works. Now this ABO system is categorized into 4 types. That is blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and blood group O. So these are the 4 types of ABO system of blood in our body. So these type of blood are present. Some may having A, some might have B, some might have AB and some might have O. So these depends upon the situations and whatever is occurring inside our body, that you don't have to study in detail. Just you have to know that ABO system of blood group occurs in our body, and this ABO system is categorized into 4 types. That is blood group A, blood group B, blood group AB and blood group O. Now blood group O is considered as the universal donor. Universal donor. Now what is universal donor? Universal donor means the one who can donate the blood to everyone. The one who can donate the blood to everyone is universal donor. Now AB is considered as universal acceptor. Universal acceptor means this AB group can accept blood from any type of blood groups, but can give blood only to AB, the person who is having blood group AB. In the similar way, O is the universal donor, means it gives blood to every blood group, but it can take blood only from the person who is having blood group O. In the similar way, AB is universal acceptor, means it takes the blood from all types of blood groups, but can give blood only to the person who is having blood group AB. So this was about the blood. So the first component of the circulatory system, that is blood, is over. Now we'll start the second component, that is blood vessels. So the second component of the circulatory system is blood vessels. So now what are blood vessels? Blood vessels are the circulatory system in our body. It acts like a pipe, and through this and through the pipes only the blood transport takes place. Some pipes are meant for the transportation of oxygenated blood. What is oxygenated blood? The blood which contains oxygen is oxygenated blood, and some types of vessels are there which carry deoxygenated blood, means the one of the vessels which is having the oxygen deficient blood, means that blood is not having oxygen, that is deoxygenated blood. Now blood vessels are categorized into three types, that is arteries, veins and capillaries. So these are the types of blood vessels. Now one by one we will see. So if we study this, we will study in a comparing way. If we compare, then you can easily understand what is the difference between the arteries and the veins. Now first we will see arteries here, and then veins this side. So if we talk about arteries, arteries are the one which carry the oxygenated blood, means the blood which is having oxygen. So arteries are the one which carry oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts of the body. It carry oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. From where? From heart to other parts of the body. Heart to other parts of the body. So what does it mean? That arteries are taking blood, taking away the blood from the heart. They are not taking the blood towards the heart. They are taking the blood away from the heart. Now about the arteries, arteries are thick walled. Arteries are thick walled. Now why they are thick walled? See, arteries it is told that they take the oxygenated blood from the heart. So when the heart contracts to pump the blood, that requires a lot of power from the heart, and due to requirement of lot of power from the heart, what happens, it develops a high pressure. So due to the development of high pressure from the blood, from the heart, the blood flows through the artery in a high pressure. Okay, so when the blood is flowing in a high pressure, so if the wall would be thin, then it might burst. The blood might come out of the arteries by bursting or destroying the thin wall arteries. So that's why in order to prevent the arteries from bursting, so they are having thick walls so that they can they can take the high pressure in them with them. So that's why arteries are having thick walled. Now the next point is that arteries are deep rooted. Now what is the meaning of deep rooted? See, arteries are deep rooted means that if you see the artery, if you see the hand, then you won't be able to see the arteries, because arteries are situated deep inside our body. Okay, they are situated very deep inside our body. We cannot see. The blue lines which we see, they are the veins. Arteries are not visible. Okay, sometimes it may be visible, but most of the time it is not visible. It is rooted deep inside our body. Now, why it is rooted deep inside our body? Because arteries carry the oxygenated blood and which is flowing in high pressure. As I told you that from the arteries the blood is flowing in high pressure. Now if there is a cut in the arteries, okay, if there is a cut in the arteries, then the blood will flow out in a rapid way, in a fast way. So there will be a loss of blood in a rapid amount. So that's why arteries are deep rooted. Even though if we get a cut, then arteries won't be able to cut. Okay, means unless and until there is heavy injury, arteries won't be destroyed or cut. So blood won't be lost in that much amount. So that's why they are deep rooted. So this is about the arteries. Now if I talk about veins, veins carry the deoxygenated blood. Veins carry the deoxygenated blood, means the blood which is not having oxygen. They carry the deoxygenated blood. Now from where they carry the deoxygenated blood? Now when the arteries supply the blood to the tissues, then the tissues use that oxygen and become deoxygenated. So arteries, what they do? They take the deoxygenated blood from the tissues again back to the heart. From the tissues back to the heart. Means what is happening? Arteries are taking the blood away from the heart. Away from the heart. And what veins are doing? Veins are bringing the blood towards the heart. Towards the heart. So this is the difference. That arteries, what they are doing? They are taking the blood away from the heart, and veins are bringing the blood towards the heart. Now next is arteries are having thin wall. Why they are having thin wall? Because as I said that in arteries the blood flows with a high pressure of blood flow. Okay. In arteries there is high pressure of blood flow due to the high power created by the heart. But what veins have to do? Veins have to take the deoxygenated blood away from the heart towards the heart, so that the heart can send it to the lungs for oxygenation. So in that process it does not need to rush. It does not need to rush towards the heart. It will go slowly. So that's why it is having thin wall and low pressure. So it is having thin wall and low pressure. Why? Because it does not need to rush to send the deoxygenated blood to the heart back. So slowly it goes. Now since the blood is flowing very slowly, there may be the chances that blood may flow backward also. Okay, if suppose the blood is traveling, and it may happen that if somebody is walking slowly, it may happen that jerk may occur. So what will happen? The blood may flow back, if there may be the chances. But for that, what is done? Valves are present. Valves are present in the veins. So suppose this is the vein. So here will be the valves present in downward direction. Suppose the blood is coming from this side. Okay, entering here. So if it would be like this, then it would create a problem. It has to come downward. So the valve, when the blood will come, they will open and the blood will come like this. So there are no chances of backflow of blood due to the presence of valve. But here arteries, they are not having valves. Valves are absent. Valves are absent because there is high pressure created by the heart and blood flows in high pressure. So there is no chances of backflow of blood. But here there is chances of backflow of blood. That's why valves are present in order to prevent the backflow. So this was the main difference, that arteries carry oxygenated blood, veins carry deoxygenated blood. Arteries from the heart to the arteries carry the blood from the heart to other parts of the body, and veins carry blood from the tissues back to the heart. Now arteries are thick walled, veins are thin walled. Arteries are having the high pressure of blood flowing with a high pressure, veins are flowing with a low pressure. Valves are absent and valves are present. Now one more thing is that I told that arteries are deep rooted whereas veins are superficial. Veins are superficial. Superficial means that the veins, as I told you, they are superficial. What does superficial means? That veins are present at the surface of the skin and you can see the veins. How you can see the veins? They appear bluish green in color. Now why veins are situated near at the surface of the skin? Because veins are situated because if there is a cut in the veins, then there will be little loss of blood. Why? Because there is low pressure for the flowing of blood in the veins. So the blood flows slowly, and due to the slow motion of the blood flow, then if there is a cut, then there will be not much loss of blood in our body. That's why they are situated superficially. Now I told you the appearance of blood in veins is blue. We see it as bluish green. Why? Because whenever the light is reflected, the green light is reflected in our body. Okay, when the light is reflected, it appears green and is reflected back. Means the skin absorbs the blue light. Okay, means the skin absorbs the blue light and it reflects back. That's why we can see the veins of the color to be blue. Because the color of blood is always red, whether it is deoxygenated or oxygenated, it will always appear red only. But why we are having deoxygenated blood appearing to be bluish green? Because our skin absorbs blue light and reflects it back, and that's why we can see it as bluish green. Now there are two exceptions regarding the arteries and the veins. Now the first exception is that pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. The exception is that the difference between artery and pulmonary artery is that artery carry oxygenated blood whereas pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. Now I told you that arteries will always carry oxygenated blood. Now why there is a case that pulmonary artery, being it an artery, is carrying a deoxygenated blood? So the reason is that I told you that arteries, what it do, it takes the blood away from the heart, means from the heart to various parts of the body. In the similar way, pulmonary artery, what it does, it takes the blood from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. So that's why it is known as pulmonary artery. Why artery? Because it is taking the deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation. That's why it is known as artery, pulmonary artery. Now the second is pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein. Now pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood. Carry oxygenated blood. Veins always carry, arteries always carry oxygenated blood and veins always carry deoxygenated blood. But here what is the difference? Pulmonary vein is carrying the oxygenated blood. Why? Because the pulmonary vein is bringing the blood from the lungs to the heart. Means it is bringing the blood back to the heart. That's why it is known as pulmonary vein. Okay, although it is transporting the oxygenated blood, but it is known as vein because it is bringing the blood from the lungs towards the heart. So what does veins do? Veins always bring the blood towards the heart and arteries always takes the blood away from the heart. So due to the functional difference in them, they are considered as artery and vein. So this is the difference. Now one important thing is that the largest artery in our body is aorta. The largest artery in our body is aorta and the largest veins in our body is superior vena cava. Superior vena cava. Means aorta is the artery
It is a type of artery and it is the largest artery which supplies the blood from the heart to the various parts of the body. And vein is the largest vein is vena cava. Vena cava, and vena cava is of two types, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. And among that, the superior vena cava is the largest. Now, this was all about the arteries and veins. Now, when we will study the structure of heart and about the mechanism of heart, how the arteries and blood transports the blood, we will able to understand the terms, that is pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, aorta, vena cavas. So this we will study when we will study in detail the mechanism of heart, how heart pumps the blood. Okay. So now the next blood vessel, that is the third blood vessel, is capillaries. So capillaries are nothing but the connection between the arteries and the veins. So what are capillaries? Capillaries are nothing but the connection between the arteries and veins. Means what they do, they connect the arteries and the veins. Now if we see the structure here, now suppose this is the vein, sorry, this is the artery, red color is the artery, and it is having many branches. Okay. Suppose they are connected something like this. So this is the artery, this is the vein. Now why I have drawn artery thin and vein thick? See, arteries are thick walled, so they are having a narrow lumen, means the hole through which the blood is being passed, that is small. And since veins are thin walled, they are having a big lumen. Okay, this is the lumen. Lumen means from where the blood is transferred. So this is how, these are the capillaries. These are the capillaries. So see how capillaries are connecting the arteries to the veins. Now the branches of the veins are known as venules, and the branches of the artery are known as arterioles. Arterioles. So when these arterioles and venules connect with each other are known as capillaries. So what is the function of capillaries? Capillaries takes the nutrients from the blood to the body cells, and also they take the carbon dioxide from the body cells again to the blood. Now capillaries are thin walled. Capillaries are thin walled. So it is easy for the capillaries to exchange the materials. Means when the blood is having the oxygen and nutrients, it takes into the cells, and when the cells are deoxygenated, then it gives carbon dioxide and waste material again to the blood. This happens due to the thin wall of the capillaries and by the process of diffusion. So this was all about the blood vessels, that there are three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries, and these are having their functions particularly for the circulation of the blood in the heart and whole body.